Shalom everybody! Today we're going to have a rant and repair. There's a beautiful national park system in Israel, just like in America. It's very well organized. There's even the bus routes organized so that you could actually do a complete circuit and campground, so you can actually make an enjoyable time of it. I went to one last year. I was fortunate enough to go and watch. There's a special time when all the birds are in flight. Thousands of cranes covered the sky. It was gorgeous, and it happens only once a year, and I happened to catch it, not by my own doing. Someone else who knows about these things organized it, and thank God. I love kites, and I bought a kite while I was at the park to support the park system, and I got it in this way oversized bag. Talk about excess packaging. I used it tonight because people in my neighborhood, they know I am the upcycle girl, right? A lady needed repair done, and I don't know if she was too shy to ask that she didn't have the money, but she essentially first told me she had all these clothes to give me, which are very nice clothes. I mean, we'll see. We're gonna have a thrift haul in a minute. But also, by the way, can you fix these things for me? Sure, no problem. Happy to do it. And she's just an angel, and she helps so many people in the community. I'm happy to do it for her. I did not realize what a massive haul it was. That's why we're gonna do a separate video for it. Instead, I took this tiny little bag, which was too big for the kite I bought, but plenty big for what I thought was, you know, a few cast-offs. Lo and behold, it ripped walking out the door. You can see the tag is still on it because I think I've used it once, maybe, and this fabric is like tissue paper. This is like, hello? I mean, I understand we live in a desert and things dry rot here rather quickly, but this is disastrous. For a national park service to not be conscious of the things it puts in people's hands that would help pollute the environment, that would hurt these animals. There's animals all over here because that's the main focus of the park service. It's not just recreational, it also has a preservation aspect, so much so that there's a message on the bottom of this bag. ברכישות זו אתם שותפים במאמץ השמירה על ערכי הטבע. By this purchase, you are partnering in strengthening the protection of the arche, so the systems of teva, nature, hanof, the view, which means sort of like Yosemite Park. There's a lot of mountains in Israel, so there's viewing spots, and those obviously have to be protected and cared for. And also the legacy of Israel. Well, that's lovely, but two problems. I didn't realize this until this happened tonight, which is, like I said, completely unacceptable. I'm wondering, should I throw it away? I like to rather upcycle than throw it away. Take a closer look, and the same whatever fabric, weave mesh bags, and they're really good for gardening because they let the water out, but they keep the soil and the plants in. They're a much lower quality. Like, you could not just pull these apart, the ones I had in there. This is disgusting. The outside, which is the same material on the inside, but it's been covered in plastic, which is what makes this so sturdy, and this not. This is not an acceptable result. This not only is it not an acceptable result, it's not even an acceptable product. No, no. Not for money, not for free. And I got this for free. I should have paid for a cloth bag or been given a cloth bag option, or I don't know what, but this is not acceptable coming out of a national park system of any country. We're going to do our first night video because it's nighttime now, so I have no choice. I want to get this done. This is the rant and repair. I'm not just going to be about complaining about something, I'm also going to be about a solution.
Look, I know this is weird, but I really only have two setups for my whole YouTube situation here right now. One is at the sofa, and the other is the sewing machine. I haven't worked out much more than that so far. So listen, this is not going to be a straight up tutorial. This is more to inspire you to take a look around you and try to do things where you can. I recently watched a video where Ben Shapiro was raging about the real meaning of Tikkun Olam, and this is a small way to do it. I know he doesn't like the airy-fairy version of it, that it's all Kabbalistic and all the sparks and da-da-da-da. I get it. Yes, it's true. But there's also another modern interpretation. The Rebbeim always had different ways to understand things, and this is a new way of understanding it. So this is a Tikkun Olam right here. I'm fixing the world, my little corner of the world, and thank you for joining me on this journey. So far, what have I done? I've had to change my needle, chosen to use a stretch needle that's not perfect for this, but it's going to pierce the vinyl, but also I don't want it wrecking my machine. I had to use good thread. I hate using good thread for upcycles because it's expensive, but I didn't have any eggshell that matched except for fine thread, so I wound the bobbin. I took a look at the bag, and I'll show you what I found.
I am going to cut off the top of this bag and reuse it as the strap. That's what the plan is. Yo, as if I wasn't Karen's out enough about this bag from the National Park Service that busted apart the first time I used it. I mentioned in the reverse thrift haul video that I was about to take clothes to the thrift store. I had a few extra things that weren't part of the haul, and I put them in here. It's like a purse, just nothing, maybe 2 pounds at most. Strap came apart because I cut this from the lip. You can see where this is seamed up. It adds structure to a bag like this to sew it from the outside with a seam binding. And the seam binding that was part of the lip, because it was very badly stitched, fell apart. Thankfully, I have a needle and thread. I have a little trick I want to show you. So I try to carry needle and thread with me always, just in case of emergency repairs. And very unfortunately, I wanted to get rid of this bag because it's literally cursed. I don't want to think about how disappointed I was. I'm going to donate it to the thrift store with the reverse thrift haul, but now I have to repair it. So hopefully I'll get it done here on the bus before I get there. I'll show you, I use that little trick in my purse. The needle doesn't poke me, but it stays secure, and I always put a little thread on it because I found without the thread, if it falls out, I can't find it, but with the thread it keeps it sort of handy. So I hope that tip helps you too. All right, peace out, wish me luck. All right, people, we did it. You know, it's super oversaturated because the sun, you know, UV, you know the drill. So I did do a quick and dirty stitch and just gave it a good reinforcement. So now it actually carries something. Hopefully this is the, you know, this is second time. Hopefully there's no third time's a charm. You may ask, why am I donating a ratty bag to the thrift store? It's not ratty anymore, number one. It's upcycled, it works now. A bag isn't a bag if it doesn't have handles, if it doesn't have handles like a basket or something. And they use it to be more eco-friendly. So they get a lot of donations in bags and they keep the bags. And when they make sales, they use those bags to give them back to the customer. So they put them back in circulation rather than waste them. But also for fabrics like t-shirts or pillowcases, things that nobody wants anymore. They either have sweat stains or they're stretched out. So from those unsaleable goods, if it's possible, depending on the fabric, I do what I just did with this. I just basically turn them into an eco-friendly bag, and that's why the thrift store will be very happy to have this and send it home with an unsuspecting customer. But it'll be fine. It'll get them their clothes home in an environmentally friendly way. The bag finally works. I am not happy about this, but all's well that ends well. Thanks for joining me on this journey. See you in a bit.